Lock accounts receivable. This specific task in the month close process locks the accounts receivable ledger. Now, for OneWorld customers, you actually have the ability to lock the AR ledger by a subsidiary. Now, what does that actually mean? Well, locking the accounts receivable ledger will actually prevent users from posting transactions against any GL accounts with an account type of accounts receivable. So think kind of your typical invoice transaction, credit memo, payment, journal entry, really any transaction that can impact the accounts receivable ledger will be blocked for that specific accounting period. Let's jump into NetSuite and take a closer look. So from our home screen, let's navigate to the period close checklist, set up accounting, manage accounting periods. You'll notice that we have our accounting periods closed through December 2022. So we're going to go ahead and close the accounts receivable task for January 2023. We can see here that that task is currently open. And as I mentioned before, for OneWorld users, you can close the AR ledger by individual subsidiary, or you can go ahead and close them all at once. That's what we'll do here. So at this point, unless you have very specific role permissions in the system, you will no longer be able to post transactions against the accounts receivable ledger in the January 2023 accounting period. Let's go ahead and prove that. What I'm going to do is log into a different role, the accounts receivable clerk, just to show you how these transactions are blocked from posting to that accounting period. Let's go ahead and attempt to create an invoice record. Okay, let's select a customer. It doesn't really matter which one. And what you'll notice here is that the posting period has defaulted to February 2023. When I go to this drop-down list, notice that January 2023 is not available. Even if I try and type it, it will only give me January 2024. And that's because we have locked the AR task for the accounting period, January 2023. Let's jump back to the PowerPoint for a second, because I do want to draw your attention to one important notice. And I touched on this earlier. If a user's role has a specific role permission, that permission being override period restrictions, they will still have the ability to post transactions against the accounts receivable ledger, even when that month close task is locked. That's why I didn't perform that test in the administrator role, because the administrator role has access to all of the role permissions. And so I would have still been able to post an invoice record, for example, in the January 2023 accounting period. So please use this role permission wisely, limit it to a small subset of users because of the ability to override those period restrictions.